not even that one either. Hey, Lettie Lover Podcast. Hi, guys. Today's been a fucking day, actually.
Sorry for coming on late.
And thank you for tuning into Lady Lover Podcast. We're a little late and whatnot, but it's okay because it's been a day and we are going to discuss what is going on currently rather than what we have posted about. And this is very important, and we would actually like feedback because this is something that is, it's serious. Honestly, it's serious. So I have my guest here, Crystal, and I would like to let her go ahead and explain, what is actually, what's on your mind.
All right, guys. So today we're going to get a little deep. Like, not even a little. We're going to get a lot deep. Like, so I'm just gonna like rip off the Band-Aid right now. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid. Not even spit it out, because I'm gonna go ahead and give a little background to my traumas as a child, and just give a little insight on why I feel so strongly about what we're about to talk about. And I'm gonna need y'all's feedback. Like, I'm gonna need some input. I'm gonna need some
push it in.
Some strength on dealing with the situation I'm dealing with right now.
What would y'all do in this situation?
Yes. So keep these questions in mind. So as a child, right? Like, I've mentioned in previous podcasts that we have had about a little bit about my trauma as far as like going through abuse as a child. I have gone through physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. And all of those, from the time that I could remember, like 5 years old, is when it started, right? And not only with one person, with two, right? One person was a family member, and it lasted from the time I was 5 to about 16. And it was very consistent because for the first part of my life, because I did live with my grandparents. Like, I had a multi-family living situation growing up until I was about like 9 years old, 10, right? So, like, the person that my family trusted me with, of course, did what he felt like he had the free for all, like he would never get caught, right? And I would have never said anything about it. I didn't want to say anything about it just because, you know what? And you know what? Let me go ahead and just be. Let me go ahead and be open. Let me not go.
Don't sugarcoat it.
No, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So when I was like 5, right, I was sexually abused. Right, I started being sexually abused.
Sure.
By a family member, right? And we were both young. Like, he was a teenager, right? And I was little. I was 5 years old, right? And it didn't only happen with me the first time. I had my little sister with me, right? And whenever that happened, like, I don't know what in me, I don't know if it was just because I was her older sister, but at that moment, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I didn't want her doing whatever it was that he was asking, right? And he was asking for me to do oral, right? He was asking for both of us, right? And I was just like, no, my sister's not going to do that. She's a year and a half younger than me. She's not going to do that. Let her leave. I'll stay, right? So that was that, right? I took it all in. I felt like if it was happening to me, it wasn't going to happen to nobody else, right? Come to find out years later, it didn't just happen to me. It happened to another family member of mine, it was a cousin, which was older than me. I don't really know exactly when, right? So it was kind of like confusing, like, as a child, like how, like, why it was happening to us, like, as close as me and my cousin were. And my other cousin and my sister, like, we were all close. Like, why it was happening, right? So, like, yeah, it's you can't.
I remember that happened. Well, same, like, I feel this will resonate because a lot of people happen because that happened. But with me, it was a babysitter, but it was a woman. It was a woman that did it, and it was me and my sister. And it was a woman that my mom entrusted her to babysit us. And my sister would ask me, and I would always say, no, I don't remember. No, I don't remember. And still, when we were adults, she would ask me, and I would say, no, I don't remember. But here I am saying, yeah, no, it did it. And she would be like, things. And I remember I was always the go-to person, but I just feel that I was always a pleaser, trauma, whatever the fuck. I don't even can't even explain it.
Yeah, and
So I understand what you're.
and it numbs you, like it numbs you, especially coming from the family I came from. We were so close knit that I felt like if I ever said anything, it would break the family up. That was my
Yeah.
biggest fear, because family meant everything to me, and I didn't want to be the reason on why our family broke up.
So
Like,
guys,
I didn't want to be
speak
the
speak
one
out.
that ruined the family holidays, the family barbecues, the family parties, the growing up with your cousins as your best friends, and the parents with each other as best friends, and the grandparents just there, and like, you know what I mean? Like, we were like close knit, right? So I would never wanted to do that. Like, family has always meant everything to me, so forth. Like, and thinking about it now as an adult, I know as a child I did things that was very concerning. You know what I mean? It was very concerning that if an adult saw it, like if I saw my kids do these things, it would raise red flags to me. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, and I acted out a lot because I didn't have nobody there to save me. You know what I mean? I didn't have anybody there to protect me. Like, I didn't have adults around me to be there to watch over me, to know what was going on. Like,
Which in turn would have to be why you would protect your children, correct?
yes.
So the issue would be is because in schools, if what would happen if it's a kid touching your child in a school, and you know what would you expect the school to do?
Hold on. So before we get there, right? So before we get there, because we're kind of jumping, right? Like, I want y'all to know. I want y'all to know.
I would want
everything
them to
like, right, and like know everything as far as like a kid with an adult, right? Because again, this happened so long to where he became an adult, and it didn't stop, right? And I stopped it in a way to where once I moved, I didn't go over a lot. Like, I tried to avoid, right? I didn't want to be around, and I didn't really say anything about it as far as like, no, I don't want him babysitting me. No, I don't want him watching me. I would just act out like I would just be bad, like to where they didn't want to watch me, to where they didn't want to be around me, to where they would say, nope, I'm not going to do this, because I felt like that was the only way I was able to get out of it. You know what I mean? And I was fucking beat.
So
I was beat as a child because of that, because they were just like, you don't know how to fucking listen. You don't know how to do this. You don't know how to do that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? So
true.
that was that, right?
Very
Like,
true.
honestly, that's really why I was the way I was, why I was so troubled as a child. And then fast forward, right? It stopped for a good minute. It did stop, right? So I thought, okay, I was done with it. And then my mom gets married to a man when I was 5, right? So this man is in my life from the moment I was 5 to the moment I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, 12, 13, right? So once I hit 6th grade, I guess the moment I started becoming a woman,
Yeah.
my mom went to school. My mom worked. My mom was an independent single mom, like, over me and my sisters. Like, she always worked. She always provided. Like, she always made shit happen. And she decided to go back to school. So I was left with her husband, who I did call dad. Like, this was the only man I knew as my father from the time I was 5 to the time that I could remember. Like, you know what I mean? And there was late nights where she would leave and she would go and, like, she would be at school, right? And he would sneak into my room, right? And so I started sleeping in the living room. That didn't happen. Hence, probably why I have insomnia, right? Like,
Yeah.
because of that, like, I would stay up, because if I stayed up, it wouldn't happen, right? The longer I stayed up, it wouldn't happen, because it would only happen when I was asleep. And there's times that I would just force myself to just act like I was asleep just because, so he could get over
Yeah,
with and just
just-
go.
yeah.
Like, just get it over with and
yeah.
go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm asleep, yes, or I'll wake up and he'll just like walk, like he'll just stop and walk out
Act
the
like
room.
you don't even know what happened. Yeah.
And dude, like, this is the part that killed me. So I started sleeping in the living room on a fucking sofa bed to get out of my room so it wasn't so private. And there was a time that my mom caught this man laying with me in the bed, on the sofa bed, right, one night, because she woke up, he wasn't in the bed with her, and he was in the bed with me. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know he was in the bed with me. Like, I was asleep, right? I woke up to the lights turning on, the lights on in the living room, and my mom saying, why the fuck are you in the bed with my daughter? And he was in his fucking underwears, like shirt, no nothing, whatever, just in his underwears, right? And he just got up, and I don't even remember what the fuck he said because he spoke Spanish, right? He was Bolivian, so he spoke Spanish, and I don't really remember because I just woke up. I was like in 6th grade. I was 12 years old, and I just looked at my mom, and my mom and him just start arguing, and they go to the room, and me, I just fucking put my blanket back on me, fell back to sleep. And tried to fall back to sleep, right? But nothing happened. Like, nothing happened after that. Like, it wasn't questioned. Like, when I started my period, it wasn't a regular period. And my mom did question me at that point, like, why is it that you're starting your period and it's coming out like this? Like, it wasn't like a flow. Like, it was like as if, this is a little like too much, but it was like dry blood coming out first. You know what I mean? And she was just like, why? Like, as if, like, I already had bled before, but I didn't know. And I'm a kid, so I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm just like, no. Just deny. So everything came out with this man because I was writing. I'm a writer. I like writing poetry. I like writing stories. I like expressing my feelings by writing. As a child, that's what I would do. So my writing came out. One night, I was writing in my room. I was supposed to be asleep. My aunt caught me writing. She took away my book. She's like, you need to be in bed. You have school tomorrow. Give me that. And she ended up reading it, and that's how everything came out, right?
Yeah, I've read that's a lot how a lot of people...
So, and I was, like, just going through that process of, like, it being reported and talking to Child Safe and getting examined and going through testimonies and, like, talking to all these people. Like, that was traumatizing, and, like... that was even more traumatizing. Like, I didn't want to talk to nobody. Like, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, if I wasn't able to talk to my mom, if I wasn't able to talk to my family, who the fuck are these people who I don't know that are making me want to talk to them? Like, I don't want to talk to y'all. So like, what are y'all going to do for me?
That's why you would be somebody that your child can talk to.
Yes, exactly. So, as a mom, I have kids now, right? As a mom, like, I went through the stuff, right? I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel this. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel like this came, like... this came out, right? And this man, my mom was like pushing so hard to fucking get him
it's different
convicted
from an adult. I mean, I know it's the same thing, but explain like how it differs between an adult and a child.
So fast forward, right? Everything came out with my cousin. Family broke up. Everything came out with my cousin 2 years later after everything came out with this man. And my family was so mad at my mom about her allowing this man to do this to me, right? Now, fast forward to my cousin, right? And it coming out about him. Oh, my family wanted to bury that underneath the rug.
As every family
don't report it.
Does. Yes.
Why are you going to cause all this chaos? Why are you going to cause all this drama? Why are you going to cause this? Why are you going to cause that? Like, we're a family. Like, why can't we just keep it in the family? Like, why can't we just do this? Why can't we just do that? Like, and it makes me think, like, oh, as an adult now, like, how long have y'all been keeping it in the family? Like, for this to keep happening, you know what I mean? For it not to have happened to me, but to my sister, to my cousin, to multiple people, and not just one cousin, but multiple cousins have done it, you know what I mean? So it's like, what the fuck happened between my grandma, my grandpa, and their siblings, or their upbringing, or my mom and my tias, my uncles, like, their upbringing to where it is a pattern, you know what I mean? Like, kids don't just do this to do this. Like, they learn it from somewhere, right? Yeah, so with me saying that, and me not having a protector, me not being this, me not being that, yes, I am a very, very, very...
You're a protector.
Like, I'm very protective of myself. And it probably explains why I'm single, why I'm okay with being alone, why I'm okay with not allowing somebody to hurt me, because I have all these walls, and not only... because of that, but because I've gone through physical abuse. And I'm going to say that because that is going to go into other things that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I've gone through physical abuse in relationships, and I allowed it to happen one time in one relationship, but because I felt like I need to make this work because he is a father to my children. He is a father to my children, and this is a man that I need to make it work with because I come from a broken family, and I don't want my kids to go through the same thing.
No.
Not realizing maybe it's safer and better to come from a broken family and it be healthier than being stuck in a family where it's traumatizing and causing trauma to the children. You know what I mean?
See, and I would disagree with you on that.
So, you know what I mean? So it's just...
I do know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so now, this is where it's going to get kind of like, fuck. So this is what I'm fucked up, right? Is I have children. I am very protective on who I have watched my children. I am very protective on who I leave my children with. I don't leave them with no man. I don't leave them with family members like that. I do not leave them with anybody. And I'm a single mom and I work. I have to make things happen. My family, my mom will get mad at me. And I understand why, because it's probably her own guilt. But it will get mad at me about leaving my children so much, right? Because she left us so much, and what happened? Like, you know what I mean?
See, and what we're discussing is abuse in all types of ways. Abuse regarding children, abuse regarding adults, abuse regarding relationships, abuse regarding any fucking type
emotionally,
of
mentally,
thing. Emotionally, mentally,
physically, sexually.
Oh, yes.
Just abuse in general, like, man. Just how traumatizing and fucking...
If you can abuse an adult, if you could abuse a child, if you could abuse a person in a relationship, anybody that is okay with that, man, you know,
like, it's
fuck
just,
y'all.
yes,
seriously.
Like,
and if anybody has anything to say about anything that we discuss, I guarantee I would totally put you on blast.
See,
100%.
Not put you on blast. She's gonna put you on blast.
Yeah, no, most definitely so. I
want to understand, because
will.
When it came to this, my mom's husband doing it, right? I didn't want to be involved in any of that. I did not want to go to court. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to go testify. I didn't want nothing. Like, I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to talk to nobody. No matter how many counselors my mom sent me to, I didn't want to talk to nobody. When it came to my cousin, even worse. Like, I did not want to testify at all. I did not want my family to come back to me and be like, he is in jail and this is why our family broke up, because of you.
What I want to know right now, is I would like to discuss this situation with the school, because I feel people will have
feedback
on this. So let's
okay, so now with my kids, I am the way I'm with my kids. I have 2 girls and 1 boy, right? I have, my girls are my oldest, 8-year-old and 5-year-old. I am open with them about this stuff. They don't know what happened to me, right? They are not old enough to understand and be able to comprehend what happened. But I am very big on boundaries. I'm very big on, do not let anybody touch you on your breast, on your vagina, on your butt, not even on your fucking arm, on your back, on your chest. Like, if you don't want anybody touching any part of your body, your hair, and you say no, know that it is a fucking no. Like, and I've talked to my kids like this. Like, no, it is a no.
Kids get this.
You know what I mean?
You know, some kids they get afraid. They don't want to, especially when it's another child in the class.
Yes. So
that's the big
now.
thing.
Last year, you know what I mean? I always hope, like, you know what? I'm like this with my kids because I hope if they ever come across a situation, they're able to talk to me. Like, I want them to be able to talk to me, and I'm gonna go ahead and believe them and make sure something happens and something gets done, so they know it's never gonna happen again. Because whenever everything came out, whenever my cousin came out and said, hey, this happened to me too, her mom straight out said, I don't believe you. Like, straight out said, I do not believe you. Y'all stories sound too similar for it to be believable. Like, damn, all right. So it definitely hurt her. Like, it killed her. Like, that is like my best friend. My cousin is my best friend. Like, we talk emotionally deeply to where she broke down. Like, she told me what the fuck she felt like. It was bad, right? So my kids, I am definitely big on, my kids are my kids, and I'm going to make sure they are protected. They have somebody who is going to be there. They're going to have a voice.
Hence what you're trying to do.
They're going to have a voice. They're going to feel like, if they feel like they are disrespected, or they feel like they are being hurt, or they feel any type of feeling to where it doesn't feel okay to them, as a mom, I'm going to speak up for them in ways that need to be done to make them feel like, you know what, I'm gonna make sure this never happens to you again, and make sure that you never feel the way you feel again. So last year, my daughter in 2nd grade comes home one day, right? And we're in the car. We get home, we're sitting in the car, and she says, Mom, can I talk to you? I said, yeah, baby, what's up? Because I always ask them, how's your day? what happened at school. Like, I talked to them, right? And it's rare. Like, last year, like, I was working crazy hours. I was rarely there. So whenever I am there, I make sure that they know I am there, and I'm here to listen. And you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, right? Even though I'm not perfect, and I do have my moments where I don't want to hear nothing right now. Just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. Let me just fucking breathe a little bit. Like, let me just get some time to myself, and then I'll go ahead and deal with y'all. Like, I am very, like,
but she got to speak to you.
That moment, I just felt like in my car, the fact that we just got home and she was like, Mom, I need to speak to you. I said, yes, baby, what's wrong? And she was all like, I want to talk to you alone. Because I had my other daughter in the car, right? And I had my son. He was barely born. And she was like, Mom, I want to talk to you alone. And I said, okay, do you want Riley here or do you want her to go? And she, like, thought about it a little bit. And she was all like, I'll have my sister here, right? Sorry, I don't want to say their names, but yeah. So I had my daughter here, right? And she was just like, no, she could stay. And I was like, okay. So she ended up telling me, Mom, so today I got in trouble at school, right? And I don't want you to get mad at me. And I was like, no, baby, what happened? Because my kids don't get in trouble at school. I don't ever get phone calls that they're misbehaving, they're acting up, they're being disruptive, like, right? So she said, I got in trouble at school, and I got in trouble because I pushed this little boy away, and my teacher saw me push him away. And Mom, like, I wasn't trying to be mean, and I wasn't trying to put my hands on him, but he kept touching me. And I was like, he kept touching you how? Like, and I started asking questions, not trying to, like, interrogate her, but trying to get more of a sense on what she was trying to tell me.
Oh.
Right? Like, who, what, when, where, like, how, before I overreacted. And I didn't want to overreact because I didn't want her to see me emotionally react to where it kind of scared her, to where she wouldn't want to tell me that again.
Very true.
Because she doesn't want me to react the way I probably would have. You know what I mean? So I tried to ground myself, and I said,
all hell busting loose.
Yeah, so in my mind is going crazy right now because I'm just like, what are you talking, like, man, like, what? So she said, so this little boy kept touching me, and it happened multiple times, and I kept telling him to stop, and I kept telling him to stop. And then the teacher sees me push him away, but it wasn't because I wanted to push him away, but I was trying to make him stop. And so she got mad at me, and so I got in trouble, and I was like, well, did you tell your teacher what happened? And she was like, no, Mom, I didn't tell her because I didn't want to get in trouble anymore. And I looked at her, and I was just like, I don't care if you get in trouble. Okay, I'm not going to get mad at you. If you get in trouble over something that you feel very strongly about, then you stand your ground and you speak up. Don't ever feel afraid to speak up. Like, so I got all the details right. I found out when it happened, where it happened, what had happened. Like, I just found out everything as much as I could. And she was very outspoken about it. She was very vocal about it. And I was just like, I felt very, like, glad that she felt okay to talk to me, right? Like, but at the same time, I didn't want her to feel afraid with talking to her teachers, because when I'm not there, I need her to feel safe when I'm not there around the people that she is around. So I told her, baby, tomorrow when you go to school, I'm going to be there first thing in the morning. But as soon as you get there, I need you to go tell your teacher what happened. Okay? Like, and it kind of, like, shook me because I am very communicative with their teachers. Like, I know their teachers. Like, I have their numbers. So it's just like, it kind of blew my mind on why her teacher would get mad at her and not ask her why she did that, right? Because their teacher is very...
Did the school bring it up to you? Did they bring it to your attention?
So, good question. So...
They even call you?
So, what happened was, next morning, right? I told her, go to your teacher. Because I was just very concerned. Like, why didn't your teacher, like, your teacher is very protective, like, of her students, like, just the way she is. Like, I love your teacher. Why did she do this? So I was like, baby, go to school. Tell your teacher what happened. Tell her, like, I didn't mean to get in trouble, but this is what was going on. And this is why I did what I did. Right? So she could know. Right? And don't worry about getting in trouble, because I'm going to be right there at that school. The moment you say something, don't worry, because if you get in trouble, I'm going to be there.
Like, so
right?
I would fucking kick doors.
So,
I would have probably burned the school down.
Dude.
if I had a girl and that happened, I would have burned the school down. And how did the school not do anything?
I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, I didn't know what to do because my daughter is 7 years old. And it's not a grown-ass person. It's a little kid. You know what I mean? It's a 7-year-old little kid to where it's just like, it makes me wonder, like, why is he doing this and where is it coming from?
Exactly. And I feel that any child, if they're doing that, they have to get it from, it comes from somewhere. Anybody, you know what I mean? But the fact, y'all, and I'm just going to, press real quick. The fact is that this little girl endured that, and the school, I do not believe, did anything about it, and then for it to repeat again.
So, listen to that.
Yeah.
So, this is why I'm...
That is
this
where
is why I am kind of...
anger is coming from.
I am vivid right now. Like, I am on fucking fire right now, but I'm trying not to react with emotion. I'm trying to be very strong-headed about it and react.
See, I would be upset because I would be like, why has this child not been removed, or why have the parents not been brought in, or why has the counselor or anybody else kind of intervened? Why is your daughter put through the same thing with the same kid that entire, it's been a year, right?
Okay, yes. Yeah. So last year I showed up at the school and I was there at the school that morning. The moment I dropped her off,
what school is this?
It's Northeast ISD.
Northeast
right?
ISD.
Northeast ISD. And I dropped her off at school, and I had to drop off her sister at school as well, right? And I said, baby, let me go ahead and drop off your sister at school, because they went to two different schools at the time, because my daughter was in pre-K and she was in second grade. Mm-hmm. So I said, baby, I'm going to go ahead and drop off your sister. Do what you got to do, and I'm going to be right here, right back at this school the moment I drop her off, right? And it was 5 minutes away, right? So it wasn't too far. So I got to the school. As soon as I got there, I said, I need to speak to the principal. I need to speak to all the administrative personnel that y'all have at the school about a serious matter. And they said, well, do you have a meeting? No, I do not have a meeting, but this is urgent, and I need to speak to somebody. I probably waited probably an hour, right? I'm not even lying. I waited probably an hour because they said, oh, they're tied up right now in a meeting. We'll go ahead and see if we could get anybody like with you right now. If not, do you mind waiting, or do you want to go ahead and come back whenever it's more beneficial to them, right? And I said, nope, I am not going anywhere. I will wait right here. This is a matter that I need to speak to somebody right now. So I don't care how long it takes. I will be sitting right here. Fast forward to me waiting. The principal comes out. The counselor comes out. And they said, ma'am, I'm so happy you're here. Your daughter came in, said what happened, and we pulled her out automatically. We've been all in a meeting with her trying to find out what had happened. And she was very vocal. She was very sure about all the details and very distinct on what went on, why, like how she felt, what was said, what was done, when it was done, who was around. Like, enough to be able to paint the fucking picture.
That alone is traumatizing as well.
Yeah, like just for my daughter to do that at 7 years old, like, it just blew my mind that, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is a little boy that she has all these adults, and they're probably fucking frantic, not knowing what the fuck to do, because this is a school and it's a child, right? So I have to go sit down with them, and they're talking to me, they're apologizing. Like, of course, they have to do all this professional, legal fucking sayings and shit like that, whatever the fuck. And they tell me, we are going to go ahead and take action on this matter. And just so you know, he is not in her class. Was during an elective. The teacher was unaware of what was going on. It was a substitute. And
see, how was CPS not even called?
So that's another thing.
I remember when I was little, they were calling CPS, and man, CPS fucking sucked.
They didn't want to tell me no information about the child, no information about the parents, no information about what was going to be done. They didn't tell me anything.
Well, probably because they didn't want you to go and kill them or do something.
Dude,
like
didn't want to tell me anything,
matter.
and I told them,
and retaliation or
and
whatnot.
then it's crazy at the same time. And at the same time, like, dude, I was so hurt because not only was my daughter having to deal with this, my grandpa had just passed away. My grandpa had just passed away. So I let them know, look, this isn't only happening to my daughter right now. Like, this is happening on top of this. So my daughter right now is probably very fucking confused on her emotions, on how to react, on what to do. Like, and I need her to feel safe here. Like, I need her to feel like it's okay to feel however she wants to feel and be able to talk and be able to be protected. And if I need to pull her out, if I need to do whatever the fuck I need to do to make sure this shit gets taken care of, then I'm going to go ahead and do that, right?
But the fact that now she's fucking staring at this kid every fucking day.
So, yeah, so fast forward, like, that happened, right? A month later, I had a custody issue with their dad. They got taken out of that school where it's kept for me for 3 months. So I never really was able to follow up and make sure it was followed through with whatever disciplinary actions that were taken. And they had literally told me straight out to my face, disciplinary actions for a child this young cannot be taken so strongly because of the grade he's in and how old he is. And I said, what the fuck do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by disciplinary actions are limited because of his age and the grade he's in? I remember being in fucking second grade and being suspended in ISS and being at home all the fucking time because I was acting up. No, they don't do that no more. I was livid.
See, I feel they don't discipline the kids anymore like how they should. And I honestly feel if a child's being like that, remove the kid. Remove the kid. Fucking call the parents in and identify the issue. Not there, you know what I mean? Everybody's certified in something in the school's district. There's a counselor. There's all that shit. Fucking bring them in. Talk to them. Figure it out. Call CPS. Bring it in. You know what I mean? Because then it always turns into when they get older and then they start doing shit while they're older, I feel.
Yeah. It's a continuous
again,
fucking...
I'm telling you, the community as well, the gay community, it's just ooh, there's so much I want to say right now. Like, so much I want to fucking say right now.
So I get a fucking call today, right? I get a call today from the counselor, right? I was at work, and she said, ma'am, it was about to be 3. My daughters are about to get home. And she says, ma'am, I just want to call you because I want to let you know about a situation that happened today. And we just want to let you know that I know Michael went through the situation last year, but the same thing happened to her again with the same kid. Dude.
Touching her again.
And she told me what my daughter said, when it happened, where it happened, what she did, who she told right away, right? And it's like, it was dismissed whenever she told them, right? She told, it was during PE, they were walking on the track, and this little boy poked her in her vagina and kept poking her, and she kept saying stop, and she went to tell the coach, and she said, this little boy keeps touching me, but the coach didn't stop and say how, didn't stop and say what do you mean. No, she just pretty much dismissed it because kids are always saying, oh, he's touching me, oh, they're complaining. But no, you don't dismiss whenever a little girl is telling you little boy is touching her. You don't dismiss whenever a little kid is saying that he is touching me, whether it is physically in a private part or in the body, anywhere. Like, you do not dismiss that. You do not dismiss whenever somebody is saying do not touch me, then that means do not touch me. Like,
what upsets me is why did they still, you know what I mean? Why was he?
And this time, last year, that little boy wasn't in her class. They're like, he's not in her class. It was during electives. This time, this little boy is in her class. In her fucking class. As her classmate, knowing whatever the fuck happened last year. Because real quick, they were like, yes, we know this happened last year. Okay, if y'all fucking knew that happened last year, why the fuck is he in her class then? Why did y'all put them back together? Like,
see, this is what I want to know. Like, what do y'all feel about this? Like, how does, and I know I have a lot of teachers on my page. What is the school, what is it called?
Policy.
The policy.
With dealing with the situation like this.
Yeah, with kids that touch other kids inappropriately and whatnot. And I'm not saying that everybody goes through this, but I do know that it does it's very common in the gay community and whatnot, and it happens where people get older and become aggressive and start becoming abusive, and then you know what I mean, and it starts when you're a fucking kid. It starts like that's like you can convince me otherwise, but you're really gonna have to really prove it.
Yes, like, dude. So and as she's talking to me, because I've talked to them on the phone, like I said, I'm very communicative with them. Like, I have a very strong relationship with the school personnel. Like, I talk to the principals, I talk to the teachers, and I talk to the counselors. Like, I talk to them, right? So when she was talking to me, I got fucking quiet. And when I get quiet, I
getting
am
upset?
livid.
Yeah.
Like, I am livid because, dude, I am livid to where I can't even say anything and I can't even do anything. And then I'm at work. I'm not even at the school. And she says, ma'am, are you okay? Ma'am, are you there?
I would flip tables.
And I said, ma'am, I am fucking livid right now. I am blowing fire through my fucking eyes. Like, no, I am not okay. And no, I will not be okay. And I will be at that school tomorrow. Yes, granted, I have work. Yes, granted, I have responsibilities I need to take care of. But this right here, I will be there to be able to sit down with y'all and find out what the fuck is about to happen. Because last year obviously did not get taken care of. Last year, obviously, it was not opened up enough to be able to take care of this situation or be looked at as a serious matter, like it is, like y'all, like it's being dismissed. Like, cause it's a kid, and as an adult, if it was another adult, I will be so quick to fuck. Like, I will get charged for murder if somebody assaulted my kids in any kind of way. I really would. But as a kid, and another kid doing this to my kid, that's where I'm just fucking lost. Like, I'm lost. Like, I can't get no information on the parents. I can't get no information on the kid's name. But my daughter already told me the kid's name. I already know who it is.
So so aside from that, what steps have you taken aside from waiting for the school to do something, which obviously the school isn't going to do? You know what I mean? Like, made a police report, or had the police come, and I would have made a police report.
Tomorrow, I don't even know what to do or how to go about it. But now that she said police report, I'm definitely, because they're now 8 years old, 9 years old.
I would have
in
CPS
third grade.
Come to the school.
My mind is get to the school. What the fuck is gonna be done? If I do not like their answers, like, at all, like, if police aren't called, CPS isn't called, if they're not the parents are not looked into, because this is a learned behavior. Kids are very curious, yes, but to be touching somebody in their private parts and to be intentionally doing it, not just once, not just twice, but continuously doing it, who knows what other girls he's doing it to?
I feel the school isn't going to take the steps that they need to, because they're going to kind of put a little hush-hush.
Again, pushing it underneath the fucking rug, just like the family thing. Pushing it underneath the fucking rug. Like, this isn't something, this is not a situation that you could be able to push underneath the fucking rug. This is not something that you just dismiss and say, oh, we'll take care of it here. We'll take care of it there. Like, we'll make sure it never happens again. Whether it's a family member, whether it's within your own family, whether it's your babysitter, whether it's a best friend, whether it's your husband, whether it's your boyfriend, whether it is your other child. Like, no, you don't dismiss this. You don't push it underneath the rug. You do not say, oh, we will deal with it internally. No. This needs to be beyond that, because this needs mental help, this needs physical help, this needs emotional help, because there's something going on to where
probably kids need to be removed or something like that. And I mean that's another thing, like, you know what I mean, it sucks when kids get removed and everything like that, but I feel if they do not, it tends to grow. But then again, when they do get removed, they end up going somewhere worse. They end up going, you know what I mean, it causes shit, it causes issues, it causes it's a domino effect. I feel.
Like, what
unless
is the
you're
root?
lucky to have.
Exactly, like, but what is the root of the problem? Like, find out where the root of the problem is
in the home
to stop the fucking problem.
Because look, what were we talking about before? Like people that they okay. This would be another topic, because me being lesbian, you being lesbian, you being bi, and you know what I mean. We've had the issues in the family, whatnot, which I know many other people, gay, whatnot, have issues. Same as straight people and whatnot. But it always turns into something more, and that's when they get physical. They get,
Yes, okay. So, all right, so that was my kid, right? But then we're gonna go into that, like how Lettie just said. Oh. That all of that pent up trauma to somebody touching you
builds up.
Physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse,
mental. And then when even being an adult, and your family knows if somebody's putting hands on you and they don't do anything to protect you.
Yes. So
does that not stem back to, like,
So pretty much what Lettie is talking about is just dealing with this type of trauma and growing up and pretty much projecting the same trauma that happened to you onto others. You know what I mean? And that's how the fucking cycle continues. If you're sexually abused, it is proven you are going to sexually abuse somebody else. If you're physically abused, it is proven
I've never sexually
you are
abused anybody.
I know, but that we're dealing with the trauma though, because I'm not going to sexually abuse anybody. But 9 times out of 10, whoever is sexually abusing somebody, it's because they were sexually abused themselves. You know what I mean? Not saying that everybody who is sexually abused is going to do it.
And
but
if
I'm
you're
saying
not
whoever,
abusing in that way, you're abusing in another way.
exactly, like whoever does the abusing is because it was something done to them.
Anger. And it's like, look, okay, come on.
Not only anger.
We're going to discuss this. Okay, so look.
That
How in a relationship, how are you going to, be in a relationship, but yet be so fucking angry about any little thing to where you would put hands on somebody? Like, how?
Okay.
And that just, to me,
So let's go. Let's transition to this topic, right?
that
Like how I
is
said.
just something
So
else.
physical abuse. Like I said, I went through my traumas. I talked about my daughter and having to deal with that, and it's a lot, right?
That's
so
a fucking lot. And
it's a
these
lot.
kids are
So
gonna have
now
to- they grow-
going to adulthood, right? Imagine like now as an adult, we're looking back at it, and it's like we've dealt with abuse ourselves, and we've had to deal with it, and we've had to internalize it, and we've had to talk about it. We've had to pretty much counsel, and he'll purge and cut off.
That's if. And somebody would have to be very confident with themselves to be like, you know what? I do need counseling. I do need to work on this. Rather than, to me, it's just complete insecurity. You're fucking insecure. You're insecure. You're insecure if you're going to beat up or hit or put hands on anybody as an adult. You're fucking insecure. You're insecure.
It's not only about insecurity. It's about pent-up trauma, and you don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you project it onto others, and you allow it to take over your life and your emotions.
I can say right now, looking at people's fucking pictures and whatnot, and I don't mean to be so aggressive, I apologize, but I'm just saying, like they can look so whatever. Insecurity, man. And this is, I can tell you right now, because I can tell you each person when I look at their picture, oh yeah, she's gorgeous. No, she's very insecure, very insecure. I was that person, you know what I mean? But to put hands on people and just, especially if you're bigger in every way, come on, man.
So,
and then to even do it to people that
the root of it is
fucking
the
trauma,
root of this
man.
is
just issues.
Deal with trauma, man. Deal with trauma because
get help.
This cycle needs to break. Like these cycles need to break because not only am I having to deal with it with my kids, I'm having to see it through my friends.
Yeah.
And them going through,
it's always same sex, because women feel, just because they're both women, they can hit the other person.
Not only same sex, just men and women, women and women, men and men.
Yeah.
Like all this undealt with trauma that allows it to overlap into your adult life and allow yourself to go ahead and traumatize others.
The most insecure person is the most aggressive person. That's what I feel. That's what I believe. The most insecure person is the most aggressive person. They are always angry. They're quick to pop off. They don't sit and work through anything. No, they're just quick. It's against me. It's against that. It's whatnot. She's got to go potty. But no, I just feel that the most insecure person is the most aggressive person. And I've learned this from how I grew up to, the people that I've dated. Fucking insecurity. You either get mad of, either you getting so much attention or whatnot, even if you're not, going back and forth with it, it's always insecurity. And if they have to fucking just, I don't know. I don't know. Today was just off. It was a late podcast. It was a long day for everybody. Everybody had shit going on. And I didn't, but, people I know of did. And I just felt that it was needed to switch topics real quick and just discuss this, because her issue with the school was very important. And that's one thing that I just don't get, in how the school isn't even... I know the schools have policy, and I know schools really don't do much unless the parents actually involve themselves and get things done. But I do want to have another discussion about abuse, insecurity and abuse within the gay community. And that's That's a big thing, and that's something that I do want to address. And again, I did. Anybody can fucking come at me, and I will most definitely.
Lettie.
I'm telling you, I
right.
will
So
lay shit out real quick, and
Pretty
I'll
mu-
speak up and do that. But no,
so pretty much all in all, like with everything that we just like today, we just had a venting session. You know?
yeah, basically,
this is
basically,
definitely a venting session, just because it has been.
But if I know that anybody out there is putting hands on people that I know, I will call you out real quick.
It's
with receipts, real quick.
It is very triggering to see it happen to others whenever
People that you care
you
for.
love and you care
that
for
are-
it.
that
You know
are-
what I mean?
yeah.
Because you want to be able to put a stop to it.
And if you're okay with it, even more so, I will totally fucking put you on blast because you should not be okay with it. I apologize.
Lettie,
I'm
Lettie is too turned up right now.
I am
no,
because I
look,
feel that
I feel
that's
no.
that,
Okay, so this is what we're not gonna do is put people on blast.
Well,
and just
I
do that.
will.
Okay, yes, personally, like when you're one on one, not on.
Oh
fucking,
no, I will do it on here. I would do it on here because look, if we're speaking our truth here, why can't we speak the truth of anybody else's stuff?
Because some people. This is why we're not gonna do that. Because what I'm trying to get at is people
It
needs
to be brought to light.
It does, but even if it's brought to light, even if it's brought to light, listen to this. People are constantly in abusive relationships and they get so numb to it that they hide it and they become okay with it. So even if you blast it, even if you bring it to light, it's not going to change anything. Do you know why?
Because the person has to do it
Because
themselves.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly. So all I'm saying with all of this is we need to deal with traumas. We need to get help. Everybody needs help. Everybody has trauma.
And I should have had
Everybody.
a therapist on here, which I will next time. I will for an issue like this. But it was something that we changed topics, and I just wanted to address because from what she is going through currently, it technically not technically, but it does resonate to what I'm speaking of when you're an adult, and my thing is that if you stop it early on, but with people our fucking age, they're already fucking gone. They're they're in denial.
And you can't say that either because
I feel I can.
People
could
could change at any age and at any moment.
But you can when you come across somebody and you see somebody, are you able to depict and just look at them and be like, yeah, you know what? I call them those "this is just how I am" type having ass people, and I do not believe in that.
Of course,
it's like,
there are people like that.
This is just how I am. That's already you know what I mean?
Of course,
we don't need to be friends because that means you've already stopped any type of room for growth or whatever. You've already solidified that you just don't want to grow. You don't want to learn more. You don't want to change. And that's the problem. And it's always the more,
you see,
okay. Like, oh, I'm, and again, and correct me if I'm wrong, people, and y'all could be mad, but I feel the more, macho, blah, 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 blah type people are the more aggressive ones and the most insecure and the ones with the most issues. And those are the ones that need the most.
We are both.
We're on one
both,
right now.
We're both on fire, but
Lettie, sorry.
I'm obviously more rational thinking than Lettie is right now because Lettie wants to fucking. She wants to fucking blow shit up right now, and I'm over here like, let's go ahead and find the root to problems and solve it internally. Like, guys, y'all are not alone. Y'all do not go through things like the
but
things
if you keep fucking up, you're gonna be alone.
Shut the fuck.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah. So, like, you're not alone. Like, the stuff you go through isn't just you. Like, don't ever say, oh, this happened to me, so this is why I am. Like, no, you are not the only one that goes through that. There is many, many, many people who go through abuse, who go through sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, whether they're a child or adult, and they're too prideful or too scared to speak up about it because they don't want to be shamed. They don't want to be talked to.
Again,
down. They don't want to be blasted. They don't want to be that
person is going to be like, hey, you know what? I need help.
You know what?
It takes a lot of confidence.
Not even confidence.
Of,
not even confidence. It takes a lot of
security.
No, not security.
Within oneself.
No. Do you know where it first starts off? Change. Wanting to change.
Okay, so
because you do not grab the security.
So if somebody gets aggressive or whatnot, and then of course they're right away going to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You know what?
No,
I'm so sorry."
No, I'm not talking about that.
But
no, I'm not talking about that.
Where does it change?
I'm talking about like people are going to be who they are, right? But
how many chances should you give?
You don't give chances. That's what I'm saying. You do not give chances.
I agree with that.
You do not. I'm not saying to give chances. I'm not saying to stick by somebody. I'm not saying to be there. I'm saying people individually. I'm speaking to you who abuse. I'm speaking to the ones who abuse physically, who abuse mentally, who abuse emotionally.
That hits people.
They didn't see that, but
right there.
So, I'm speaking to the ones who cause the abuse. Like, why? Why do you do that? Why do you feel like it is okay to cause harm to anybody else because of the feelings that you feel? And then, yes, of course, there is a lot of issues this goes into. Like, we could go into it, and we could get mad, but it's not within us. Like, my job right now is to protect my children and make sure I change who I am.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And if
make sure that
anybody did, would you blast them? If anybody continuously, if anybody did that, would you?
Know what?
Would you not blast them, but bring attention to, if we're, would you bring attention to the situation?
I'm not going to bring attention to that person because it's not gonna fucking matter.
I would.
It's not gonna
and just
matter.
so y'all know again, anybody that I would, and I will totally put, and if I could find out your birthday and your dress and everything like that, I would totally say right now, and just.
Okay, yes. If it's somebody I love, like my sister, my best friend.
If it was my sister, I would not even fucking defend the other person.
Yes.
I would totally.
Yes.
I would
if it's somebody personal to me. If it is somebody personal to me.
I'd put sugar in a baggie and drop it in the tank so it could just disintegrate. Then I would think of multiple ways to fuck their life up if they did something to my family or my whatever.
Lettie is on one right now. She is fucking on one right now.
It's late.
But
it's past my bedtime. Literally, it's past my bedtime.
Lettie is on one right now. But yes, if it's my family member, if it is my sister, if it is my mom, if it is anybody, I'm going to jump in as a protector. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to let them get abused. I'm not going to let them get treated a certain way. Like, I'm going to react. Yes, I'm going to, blast them in my way with them physically. And not to other people, but to them.
Mm-hmm. And I would do
the
same in my
you know
way.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, and your shit is going to get fucked up. Like, it is
spiritual,
triggering.
But I'll still fuck shit up. I will, especially if if it's about somebody that I care about and anybody else around them isn't doing anything about it. I would most definitely fucking step in my way. And, of course, with the love of the universe and whatnot, and hopefully they'll guide me in the right direction and all that, yada, yada, yada.
Fucking Lettie, I mean? She's like, I'm going to fucking cause hell and then ask for forgiveness after that.
I will fuck everything up and then I'll keep my sage and light it up and just cleanse it all on the end and do my thing and then go back home. Easy. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is that abuse...
It needs to stop somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, our children...
I'm contradicting myself because I would be like, people who do abuse, I'm going to fuck you up, so that's abuse. You know what I mean? So I'm...
Yeah, you're very... Okay. You're like, don't cause violence to anybody else, but I'm going to be very violent.
I will be violent for you causing violence. But no, I wouldn't be violent. I would honestly just put you on blast to where everybody knows what it is that you do. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I would do. To anybody, I would do that.
I feel like it's such a norm now. It is such a norm
that
for this stuff to happen. That people are just so numb to it that it's not even gonna. It's not even going to even
because everybody does that. Oh no,
raise flags.
No,
it's not gonna raise flags like the way it should because it's so fucking normal now. Like it's so like
half the people wear contacts nowadays. They couldn't even see a red flag if it was in front of their fucking face.
Exactly, like because so many.
They're not even real contacts. They're just.
So many people are just numb to this stuff because we've gone through it and we've built a wall and we built an exterior so hard that if it does happen to us, we're just in defensive mode that we're gonna go ahead and deal with it. But no, like we need to be able to put a stance and stop it. We need to be able to find out.
So we should go to your child's school and I'll pick it. I'll fucking pick it. I'll make a sign tonight and I'll be there with you when you gotta go and we will pick it and be like, look, man, what the fuck are you gonna do? Where's your counselor? And I'm pretty sure the counselor isn't. I feel the counselor would be like a coach, where the coach isn't a coach. The coach is just some teacher that has extra time to just bring in and be like, you know what I mean?
I don't know, guys. Like, I'm very, like, I try to be so level-minded and so, like, you know what, we need improvement. Like, we need this, we need that. Like, but that's me. That's just me on what I know I need, because I don't want the cycles to continue. I don't want that broken fucking family. I don't want my kids to feel unprotected or unloved or unsure on what to do, when to do it,
And
how
we
to
don't
go
want them
about
growing up
life.
to be
Like, I don't want
aggressive.
them to go through, yes, be abusers. I don't want them to be abused. I want them to be able to have a voice.
because I'm pretty sure, like when I was little, the babysitter, the female one, I'm pretty sure she was abused. You know what I mean? And the
So
thing
many
is
people are
that-
silenced. They're
that-
silenced.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. And the thing is that, look, like me being abused growing up, I'm not an abuser. You know what I mean? I fucking know. I can yell and whatnot. I'm not gonna fucking put hands on anybody, because who knows? You might catch the wrong one and somebody actually slap you down. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not built for that. It's it. I could back in the day, but that's not me anymore. And for anybody
And
like you,
guys, like,
I don't see
honestly-
you going around fucking people up or
Okay, like, and yes, you don't seem like that now, but I did go through my time where I was
I
very,
did.
I was violent.
I was violent. Fuck yeah.
Was
I
aggressive.
remember one time I was dating this girl, and she would continuously throw it in my face, because somebody does something to you, and when you continuously take it and take it and take it, you just blow up. And I remember I put hands on her. She passed out. You know what I mean? And I left her there and started walking, and that was it. But that's neither here nor there. And
Like,
after that, I just never did it again. That was traumatizing to me, and
Like-
stop fucking with those type of people.
yeah, like, I'm not speaking off of like I'm better than everybody else, or I've done this and I've done that.
Definitely
No,
not better than anybody
it's
else, yeah.
definitely on a, I've done it, I've been there, I understand it.
Learned
I
from
get, yes, I learned from it, and I've grown from it. And I'm just like, man, like, where does the change start? Like, and not only where does it start, but how do I implement more change than what I'm doing within my own household, with my own children, within myself? Because it's not only a myself, a my children situation. It is a lot. It's a fucking
Talk to your
pandemic situation.
talk
Like,
to
it
your
is.
kids. Talk to your kids. Have them talk to you. Ask them, because you never know. Just talk to them. Talk to your friends. Ask them. Pay attention to, your friends and their relationships and whatnot, and any marks on them and whatnot. Ask questions. Fucking ask questions. Fucking intrude on their privacy and ask questions. That's what I've already learned. Ask questions.
And yes, ask questions, but don't only ask questions.
Ask questions and beat ass?
No, being out for them.
saying.
Let them know that
See, and I read
you
the news
are
every
an
morning. This is why
out.
people run over. I remember all the time. They're like, "Oh, somebody beat up somebody," and then they go and run them over. I'm not saying
Like,
go get violent. I'm just saying
Just
ask questions.
being out for somebody as well. And yes, it is hard. I have done that. I have been an out for people. I have opened up my house to people, and it is hard. It is really hard to do that. But understand that you are making a difference, and you are making a change, not only in that one person's life, but the people around them and the people to come before them in the future. Whether it's their children, whether it's friends, whether it's relationships, whether it's even their parents.
And even when people look like they have everything well put together and whatnot, and they stage all their pictures and whatnot, no, fucking ask questions,
Don't-
because they're
Don't ever read a book by its cover. And
Fuck
yes,
no, don't
don't
ever read a book
be
by its cover.
don't be too into people's stuff. Like, people are gonna gradually gravitate to you if it's meant to happen. Yes. At the same time, like, be there, man. Like, just be there.
Yeah.
Open
ask
up
questions.
open up
Don't
your
be
heart.
afraid. And if
Open-
they get upset about you asking questions, ask more questions. Ask more questions.
Don't ask more questions,
Yes, ask more
but
questions.
provide them with
I'm not gonna
number-
say, "Hey, look here."
provide
I got
them
some no.
provide them with resources, because you're obviously, if you're asking questions, they're getting mad about it.
You could do that.
You're not the person that they want to open up to. So provide numbers,
Oh.
provide resources, provide other people that they can,
She's correct.
because one day that they feel like they need to, they're gonna be able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's you, whether it's somebody else.
But please pay attention.
Do that.
Please pay attention to anybody you're around, any type of loved one, please. And I know this was totally off of what we were supposed to discuss, but I felt
Yeah,
it was
we're-
important. And it was just, This is our first time just fucking going off
Just,
the
just
day.
me and her just free flowing. Like honestly, like we're supposed to talk about like coming out and how we came out and like just me being bisexual, her being lesbian, like all this stuff, right? But no, like when we feel like something needs to be talked about, it's gonna be talked about and it's gonna be brought up. And we want y'all's feedback. We want y'all's.
Yeah, this was a little late, but we're gonna.
We want y'all's
just
comments. We want
catch
y'all's
up on it.
questions. We
Catch
want
up on
y'all's
it.
input. We want to know what to do because I don't know what to do. 99% of the time, I am learning.
Somebody, I know I have a lot of people with the school. Somebody, please reach out and help
Like-
her know what to do because I honestly don't know what I would do in that situation.
And just not even only in this situation, but I am learning how to be a mom. Like I don't know how to be a mom to girls. I don't know how to be a mom. Period. I don't feel like I was really taught on how to be a mom and be loving and be affectionate and be this and be that. I am learning.
Yeah,
my kids
see,
are
and
8,
I don't-
5, and 1.
Yeah.
And-
it's, to me, I would give her advice, but I boys and I told them about everything, but you know what I mean? I feel people don't think about it, which they should with boys too, but somebody reach out and let her know what she should do within the school district and how she can approach, because I would just say, call the cops. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would
and
find out where that kid lives.
And y'all have any questions about how to get out of abusive relationships? Guess what? I've done it. I have gotten out
Same.
of a very abusive domestic relationship to where it ended with me getting arrested and ruining a career that I was striving for since I was a
That
child.
didn't happen to me. I just got arrested because of an abusive relationship.
Yeah, no, it definitely ruined and caused chaos in my life for a good few years, you know what I mean? And I had to become grounded. I had to become this whole other person to learn to adapt. And
we're supposed to go do grounding, so
yeah,
that way we can.
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
move, so I
We're
can get you
definitely gonna
move
do
stuff.
some grounding. I had to learn on how to be able to ground myself so I don't fucking spin out of control mentally and emotionally. And I found out what that is. Like maybe y'all need to do that. Like mental health is so fucking important.
Again, we need to do
So
another topic on mental health
Important.
within the gay community because a lot of gay people are so abusive.
And that's what straight people,
And it
bisexual
stems
people,
from
lesbians,
somewhere.
transsexuals, like LGBTQ.
What do you
and
identify as, and what is your issue?
everybody, like it's so important. Like this stuff is not like it's fucking crazy on how deep this stuff can go and like the
It's a rabbit hole.
multiplicity. I don't even know
It's
that's a fucking word. Multiplicity of
Multiplicities.
I don't even know that's a word, but yes,
it's
like
a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. It's a wormhole. It
Yes.
just keeps going and going and going, and it's time to let's acknowledge it. Let's discuss it, and we'll actually do that on the next one. Yeah.
We need to.
Insecurity within relationships. That's Thursday's topic. I've already decided yesterday. Insecurity within relationships and stems with gay people because a lot of us motherfuckers are insecure, and it's about time we just fucking admit it. So let's
Yeah.
just do it because we're all working on some shit, right? Why be ashamed of it?
Hey.
As long as you're working through it and you acknowledge it.
So
If you're
I just
not,
wanna-
then you're fucking lying.
Yeah, I just want to
You're
fucking
lying.
thank y'all for listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we
Thank
rambled.
y'all for watching.
Thank you. We're about to knock out because it's past my bedtime and I got work in the morning, guys.
Yeah, we ain't about to knock
So,
out.
I
I'm
love
not
y'all
about to knock
very
out.
much, and thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. Lady Lover Podcast.
Yeah.
Don't be
So-
putting hands on people, motherfuckers.